All right, folks, welcome back to the Man Cave. My name is James. We're going to start calling this show the Fade James podcast because every pick I make, somebody's getting hurt. That's almost a guarantee. I would put money on that. But we'll get to the bets over the weekend in just a second here. We got to start off with some fantasy football. We were going in this week. We talked about it last week. We were looking awful. Just real quick, again, we didn't have Tom Brady on bye week. We didn't have DK Metcalf on a bye week. We didn't have Derrick Henry hurt for possibly the rest of the regular season. Mike White, we put in as our starting quarterback. New York Jets quarterback, 95 passing yards and a passing touchdown. He only played the first two drives. He didn't look bad on the sidelines. It didn't look like he was hurt that badly. But he ended up not coming back in. So we only got 7.8 points from him. The rest of our team, we'll start with the bad here. Baltimore's defense was just awful once again. They're actually playing right now against the Dolphins, a much easier opponent. So last week they gave me a -1 points. So that was pretty bad. Kadarius Toney, New York Giants, ended up with the win. I'm a New York Giants fan. Love to see it, but by way of the wide receivers, I think there was like 9 passes to the tight ends, Ingram and Rudolph, and then 5 passes to the running backs, and only like 3 passes total that went to wide receivers. So Tony only with one catch, that was for 9 yards. They're starting to get a little too fancy with him. I feel like they had him in the Wildcat one time, tried to run it. He lost 2 yards. They tried to do another trick play where Daniel Jones threw it behind the line, and he was going to throw it again, like he did that one time 2 weeks ago. Nothing doing. Only got 1.7 points from him. So those were the big 3 right there that kind of killed us. Mike White, Kadarius Toney, and the Baltimore defense. But we still ended up with the win. We pulled it out of our asses. We're 7-2 now, still on top of the league. Again, 12-team league, super brutal. I only have 4 guys on my bench. That's what we're rolling with because honestly, the waiver wire is looking pretty sad. There's nothing out there. So that's what we got right now. So it doesn't even really matter. We're just going to roll with these guys unless somebody else gets injured for the rest of the season here. And we're just gonna have to make it work. That's how we roll here with Vic Survivors. That's the name of my team. That's how we play. Dallas Goedert, they had some shots. Philadelphia, they were throwing the ball pretty deep. They had 1 deep shot first quarter in the game against the Chargers, but they missed it. Jalen Hurts just barely missed him. So he ended up with 7.3 points. Not horrible for a tight end. So especially in this league. So I'm pretty happy with that. Myles Gaskin came up clutch with a rushing touchdown. And then he also had 6 receptions as well. So he ended up with 15.7 points. Josh Jacobs, he had a pretty decent game. He rushed for 76 yards, had 4 receptions himself. So he was pretty decent. He did come out for a little bit. Again, he was had a little bit of an injury going again, but he did come back in. So that was good to see. Really the hero of the day, I'd call him, Cordarrelle Patterson. Cheers to you, my brother. Just absolutely killed it. Came up clutch. He had 126 receiving yards. The last one was, I think, a 64-yard reception, streaking down the sidelines with like under a minute left in the game or something like that. They ended up they were killing the Saints, and then the Saints came roaring back. So this was a clutch play for myself as a fantasy owner and for Atlanta. So he ended up with 24 total points, which was awesome. And then we had Young Ho Koo, whatever the hell his name is. He ended up with 9 points. He kicked the winning field goal there.